Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 18, Text number 7. Nanudveshtim kalim samrat sarangha iva sarabhok kushalanyasau siddhyanti netarani kritani yat. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Bhaichana Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Maharaj Parikshit was a realist like the bees who only accept the essence of a flower. He knew perfectly well that in this age of Kali, auspicious things produce good effects immediately, whereas inauspicious acts must be actually performed to render effects. So he was never envious of the personality of Kali. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The age of Kali is called the fallen age. In this fallen age, because the living beings are in awkward position, the Supreme Lord has given some special facility to them. So by the will of the Lord, a living being does not become a victim of a sinful act until the act is actually performed. In other ages, simply by thinking of performing a sinful act, one used to become a victim of the act. On the contrary, a living being in this age is awarded with the result of past acts simply by thinking of them. Maharaj Parikshit, being the most learned and experienced king, by the grace of the Lord, was not unnecessarily envious of the personality of Kali, because he did not intend to give him any chance to perform any sinful act. He protected his subjects from falling prey to the sinful acts of the age of Kali. And at the same time, he gave full facility to the age of Kali by allotting him some particular places. At the end of the Bhagavatam, it is said that even though all nefarious activities of the personality of Kali are present, there is a great advantage in the age of Kali. One can attain salvation simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Thus, Maharaj Parikshit made an organized effort to propagate the chanting of the Lord's holy name, and thus he saved the citizens from the clutches of Kali. It is for this advantage only that great sages sometimes wish all good for the age of Kali. In the Vedas also it is said that by discourse on Lord Krishna's activities, one can get rid of all the disadvantages of the age of Kali. In the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is also said that by the recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Supreme Lord becomes at once arrested within one's heart. These are some of the great advantages of the age of Kali. And Maharaj Parikshit took all the advantages and did not think any ill of the age of Kali through his Vaishnavite cult. Today we will discuss from Canto 1, Chapter 18, entitled Maharaj Parikshit Cursed by a Brahmana Boy, the verse number 7. In this first canto, the chapter 18 is a very interesting chapter with a lot of insights and variety of content within it. Right from the beginning of the chapter, we can see that why Parikshit Maharaj didn't kill Kali, but just punished him. And in the middle part of the chapter, we can find, in the middle part of the chapter, there is glorification of Shravanam. Hearing from the bona fide authorities has been glorified. And at the later part of this chapter, the real story of how Parikshit Maharaj was being cursed has been explained. So just hypothetically, just think that we all have some case going on for many decades, many ages and decades. We have been sufficiently tortured, tormented by the court with all evidences, with all statements, with all proofs. But after a long time, say 10, 15 years, 20 years, the court decides, because of this one statement, because of this one evidence, that you are being saved. You have won the case. So how much relief it would be, how much comfort it would be, how much a sense of reassurance would be. This one statement, for them to understand, took so many years, but it saved my life. Similarly, today's verse is the same statement, in that same importance, which gives an opportunity for all of us, gives a ray of hope for all of us, that even though by simply thinking something good, we would become pious. So in this today's verse, verse number 7, such a wonderful, interesting verse which explains two wonderful qualities of two diametrically opposite personalities. The first two lines of this verse, should have put up, but anyway, the first two lines of this verse explains about the wonderful qualities of that pure devotee, Mahabhagavata Parikshit Maharaj. And the later part, the second part of this verse, second and third line, explains about the wonderful qualities of the most heinous, most demoniac, most wicked, most degraded personality of age, that's Kali. So, Parikshit Maharaj was, even though he was having so many wonderful qualities, here there are two important qualities has been explained. What are those? One is Nanudveshti. That Parikshit Maharaj was so kind and compassionate, and he was not being envious to anyone. That one. And the second one was the second line, which explains Saranga iva Sarabuk. So Parikshit Maharaj was a realist. Prabhupada says in purport, he was a realist. He was so practical, he was so pragmatic in his approach. So he was called as Saragrahi, means one who seeks essence. So essence-seeking devotee. So on the other hand, contrary to that, this Kali personified as ocean of faults. Kali is Dosha Nijera, ocean of faults. But he has this wonderful two qualities. One seen by Parikshit Maharaj and other seen by his guru Sukadeva Goswami. What is that seen by Parikshit Maharaj? There is a great quality of Kali. That is said that Kushalanyaso siddhyanti netrani kritani yat. So just by thinking something auspicious in our mind, we become very pious and has no reaction to one's sinful thoughts. So on the contrary, one has to actually perform sinful acts to become sinful. Someone was asking, Prabhu, I get a lot of bad thoughts, what to do while chanting. So I always quote this. So don't worry, it is said in Shastras. So even if you are thinking something bad, you'll not be penalized. So general norm is what? General norm is, you perform good activities, you will get good results. You perform bad activities, you get bad results. But a special concession has been given to all the people of Kali Yuga, that simply by thinking something good activities, one get all the piety, punya, even if we no need to do past activities. But in previous age, Prabhupada says in the previous age it was different. Simply by thinking sinful, if you have sinful thought, you had to become sinful. You had to suffer for that. You had to face the consequences. So as I was saying, this is like just like an Indian constitution. has so many articles in it. Basically, Indian Constitution is set up by by a group of people during the independence. So they have put a framework wherein what are the duties of the government, what are the duties of the citizens. So all things has been explained in that. So similarly, there's a constitution of God, there's article, and this is one of the article which explains this. Don't worry, even if you think bad in Kali Yuga, you'll not be penalized. So in short, to understand, so good thoughts are rewarded and bad thoughts are not penalized. And what is one more good quality of Kali Yuga seen by Sukadeva Goswami? That one more glorious quality is the process of self-realization has become so simplified that simply by chanting the name of Krishna, one becomes free from Maya. Kirtanadeva Krishnasya Mukta Sangam Param Prajet. That comes almost in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So just see this Bhagavatam, so wonderful literature, that each and every word has a volume of meanings in it. The more and more number of times you keep reading this Bhagavatam, it is so enlivening, and you'll become so matured. Prabhupada says one of his purports, I just read out the quote. Each and every verse is so important that if a serious student studies each and every verse, each verse will take at least 1 month to understand. So for a serious student of Srimad Bhagavatam, it will take 18,000 months. So hypothetically think that we all live for 100 years. So 100 years has 1,200 months. So if at all, if you want to study the Srimad Bhagavatam very seriously, saying that 1 verse a month, then we have to live for 1,500 years. 1,500 years. Practically impossible. So our dearmost spiritual master Srila Prabhupada is so magnanimous, so compassionate, so benevolent to all the conditioned souls, that seeing our condition, Srila Prabhupada has explained the essence of each and every verse in his purports. And it's not just some explanation made. Purports are not some explanation made. No. So Bhaktivedanta purport, in Bhaktivedanta purport, each and every word has been carefully selected, just like we chant in Vedic mantra. And it's rich with, it's pregnant with the wisdom, full of life, full of inspiring words, full of inspiring quotes. And each and every sentence of Prabhupada Bhaktivedanta purport, such a wonderful thing. It is rich with, it's packed with powerful realization, piercing analysis, and the pragmatic examples. So just imagine the fortune of us, that Srila Prabhupada's mercy, because of Srila Prabhupada's mercy, Srimad Bhagavatam has selected all of us here to hear this wonderful literature about the glories of Krishna. Krishna would evolve through the, Prabhupada says, Krishna would evolve through the pages of Bhagavatam and will bestow love of Godhead. So, if Parikshit Maharaj hadn't heard this Bhagavatam in 7 days from Sukadeva Goswami, today we all wouldn't have been sitting here and listening this Bhagavatam. Discussing some life-transforming topics. Very interesting. So, very important is that we have to understand the essence. Today's verse, it speaks about Sarabhuk. Saraga, Sarabhuk. So, essence. So, you have to understand this Bhagavatam, that is essence of all Vedic literature. So what is that? It is there in Bhagavatam, that Bhagavatam Ishyate. So Saram, Sarva Vedanta Saram Hi Shri Bhagavatam Ishyate. So, Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita about essence of all Vedic literature is to understand Krishna. What is that? 15.15. Vedasya sarve rahame vedyaha. So in order to understand Krishna, we have to read this book Bhagavatam through the person Bhagavatam. And that's how we can understand this Bhagavatam, which is the essence of all Vedic literature. Sarva Vedanta Saram Hi Shri Bhagavatam Ishyate. That's why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took this Bhagavatam as a natural commentary to Vedanta Sutra, Bhashanam, Brahma Sutranam. For any philosophy has to be established, Brahma Sutra has to be commented. Recently, just a few years back, Swami sect, one scholar wrote a commentary on Vedanta Sutra with their understanding, and now it was authorized like that. So here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took Bhagavatam itself as a natural commentary to Vedanta Sutra. Sarva Vedanta Hitihasanam Saram Saram Samudritam. So the Sara word in this today's verse has been explained twice. So you have to understand the essence of Vaishnava culture is to become simple in our life. Simplicity. That is essence of our Vaishnava culture, not duplicitous. Saralata e Vaishnavata, they say. By simply being simple at heart, we can serve Guru and Krishna. So that's why Parikshit Maharaj was known here as a Saragrahi. Simplicity is what Lord is looking from us. Otherwise, there are a lot of people who want to think mental speculators, and they wanted to make their own statements and become famous. So that's what they are called as Bharavahis. They are only burden to the society. Whereas devotees are Saragrahis. They are the one who takes essence of the Vedic literature or essence of any subject matter, and they act according to it. So that's what they are called as Saragrahis. And no hypocrisy. No independent nature. So here Parikshit Maharaj was Saragrahi. Why he was Saragrahi? Because he knew the essence of Kali Yuga. So there's what Saranga Iva Sarabhuk. That is wonderful verse in 11th canto, 5th chapter, 36th verse. Kalim sabajyamanyarya gunagnaha sarabhaginaha yatra sankirtanenaiva sarvasvartopi labhyate. So those who are actually intelligent, who are advanced in knowledge, sabhajantya arya gunagnaha sarabhaginaha, they are able to appreciate the value of this Kali Yuga. In fact, Gunagnaha Sarabhaginaha, those realized persons worship Kali Yuga. Why they worship Kali Yuga? Because yatra sankirtane naiva sarva swartopi labhyate. So what is that? That all perfection of one's life can be achieved simply by performing Sankirtana Yagna. So, if you take the whole of Bhagavatam, it only speaks about this. Right from the beginning of this verse, Bhagavatam 1.1.1, Sadhyo, Ridhyo, Avirudyate, Krutipi, Takshanat. The Krishna gave this transcendental knowledge to Brahma through his heart. And it goes on for all this 18,000 verses, and the last verse of Bhagavatam, 12th canto, 13th chapter, 23rd verse, it ends with this. Nama sankirtanam yasya sarva papa pranashanam pranama dukkha samanaha tam pranama harimparam tannamami harimparam. So just imagine Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took on his mission from where Bhagavatam ended. So delivering all the conditioned souls by congregational chanting. What is that? Nama sankirtanam yasya sarva papa pranashanam. So by chanting the holy name of Lord, one can be completely ridden from all sinful reactions. Sinful reactions can be destroyed. Pranamo dukkha samanaha. And one who offers obeisances to this holy name, Nama Prabhu, what happens? Dukkha samanaha, he will be relieved from all material sufferings. So this is the greatness of this literature. And it's meant for Paramahamsas. Prabhupada says, Paramahamsa Samhita. So even though we are not Paramahamsas, we have got an opportunity to get to know about this great literature. So here Parikshit Maharaj is demonstrating that simply by hearing so he is demonstrating that Bhagavatam is not just for a class to be heard. Yes, it's very much true. Sadhyo Rudhya Abhirudyate Shana. What is that? When the pastimes and activities of the Lord Krishna from the Bhagavatam enters the ear holes and enters the heart, all our misgivings will be removed. And Krishna will come and reside in our heart. It's true. But it's not complete. Parikshit Maharaj is telling that it is that we have to imbibe those qualities we hear from these classes. So it's a lot of activities. After hearing Bhagavatam class, it's not that we have finished our work, job done, khichdi finished. No. There's a lot of homework we have that next week will be coming. So let me prepare what I heard. Have I imbibed those qualities? I have worked upon myself to adopt those qualities, implement those qualities. We have to really think over. So this is how we have to work upon ourselves to see the Krishna through the pages of Bhagavatam. Else it only remains as some part of knowledge. Just like when we read some general knowledge, we keep underlying things. So the qualities of this devotees has been explained is Bhagavatam. Titikshva, Karunika, Sruda, Sarvadehinam, Ajata, Shatra, Santaha, Sadvaha, Sadbhushanam. So wonderful qualities of devotees. Titikshvaha, they're so tolerant. Today also, Parikshit Maharaj explains Adveshta, Sarvabhutanam, Adveshta, Kalim Samrat. So the devotees of the Lord are always tolerant. They're so compassionate. Sarvadehinam, they are so friendly to all living entities. Ajata Shad, they don't have any enemies. And they're always peaceful. And this is what the devotees, this kind of qualities that we have to imbibe in our life, Bhagavatam says. So, this is very much important that Parikshit Maharaj is appreciating this verse. Parikshit Maharaj is appreciating Kali. So, good qualities. So, Parikshit Maharaj is teaching a lesson for all of us that the best way to get out of our envy is to appreciate others. Because appreciating oneself only creates false pride. Appreciating others genuinely, it decreases our own false pride. So there's one wonderful the story of a Brahmana from one Purana. So one Brahmana was so ardent, was so religious, so sincere, so devoted in performing his daily rituals, daily oblations, offering oblations, tarpanam, Gayatri Japam, like that. And he used to do on a particular muhurta. So whenever particular muhurta used to come, and used to do ardently, very devotedly, religiously, used to do that. So many years and decades passed by. Unfortunately, one day it so happened, he slept off. He was unable to perform his daily duties on time, but there was some more little time left for that time to get over. So the Kali took the form of Brahmana and woke him up. And chastising, what is this, you are still sleeping? Then this man woke up and saw the time, and it's so late, we have some few more moments to finish. So he immediately went to the bathroom, took shower, bath, and started japam and everything. Finally, he finished on time. Somehow fast going. So then this Brahmana went to that other Brahmana and asked him, who are you? And that other Brahmana said, I am Kali Purusha. And he was really astonished. How is that you are supposed to bring some hindrance in your spiritual advancement, that you are making me do my spiritual activities? Then Kali Purusha He's saying that if I wouldn't have woken you up, you out of a great repentance, you have become more humble and meek. Oh, this has happened. I should not have done this. So many years I've been doing this, but I failed to do this. So out of great repentance, you would have really felt bad about yourself and become meek and humble, and that would help you get some spiritual credits. Become meek and humble. So I woke you so that you wake up and you do your duties and become puffed up, and your pride and become get a false pride, and so that you will never progress in spiritual life. So now you should not take this as an example and say that tomorrow, Prabhuji, I have been chanting, I missed out, I want to become humble and meek. So again we have to take the essence of this story, that one should not become proud of one's abilities, talents, status of life, and because of that you start envying others. Because the nature of the envy is to catch someone's faults, someone's defects, someone's shortcomings, latch on to it, pull his leg down. And this is the nature of envy. We all do that. When we don't have anything to discuss, we keep discussing about someone else behind their back. Helplessly we do that and we get into it. So we should be very cautious in all of our dealings. So that's what here Parikshit Maharaj is showing, that we have to incorporate all these wonderful qualities in our life. Because just imagine, to be with some good people, it's very easy to be good. But that our real nature will not come out. Our real nature will come out when we are with the bad people, who are very crooked, who are very wicked. So what happens? So for the devotees, it's very difficult to deal with the crooked people, because we also become crooked. Because it's very easy for us to deal with the good people, because always are good. But here Parikshit Maharaj is dealing with crooked person, but still he is, we can show the test of our sadhana, test of our bhakti, the maturity of bhakti lies when we are in amidst the crooked people. And really we can see what goodness we can do to them also. Bhavadbhir loka mangalam. So in this, so from the from previous two chapters, we all saw that Parikshit Maharaj, how he chastised Kali Purusha for his nefarious activities, and knowing that Parikshit Maharaj was about to kill Kali out of great fear of being killed, so he surrenders to Parikshit Maharaj, and Parikshit Maharaj pleads him, begs for the forgiveness, and Parikshit Maharaj, out of great kind and compassion, he forgives all living entities, what to speak of his enemies. He forgave him. Samagad bhayavifalaha, so krupaya deenavatsalaha. So thus Prabhupada says in this purport, thus the personality of Kali was saved by the will of providence. So just imagine, the most powerful Kali also surrendered to the pure devotee of Krishna. So we should know that how powerful the pure devotees of Krishna are. That even a Kali personified lives at the mercy of devotees. That is the greatness of devotees. This whole story speaks about that. So, trembling out of fear, he asked to get some places, and we all heard that in the previous chapters, two chapters, that Parikshit Maharaj gives him the permanent residence for the Kali to stay in, so that he can live peacefully. See the nature of this devotee. So then he says the 4 places where you can stay in. What is that? Stri, Suna, Dhyuta, Pana. What is the Stri? Wherever the illicit relationship, you can stay there. And Suna, wherever there is a meat eating, you can stay there. Kali can stay there. And Pana, wherever there is a drinks, wine, brand, whiskey, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Mirinda, all the coffee, tea, so you can stay there. And the Dhyuta, and wherever there is a gambling, you can stay there. Because these are the things which destroy the 4 pillars of Dharma. What are 4 pillars of Dharma? Satya, Daya, Tapa, Saucham. So we should be very cautious and careful in understanding the places where Kali has been assigned to. So when Parikshit Maharaj, during the Parikshit Maharaj rule, who was the whole emperor of this world, practically there was no place in his kingdom where the such things was existing. So then Kali again requests for some more places, and for that Kali gives him a place to live in gold, Jatarupam. So it is said, why it is gold? Mandam kamam rajo vairam. So person who accumulates a lot of gold, there obviously there will be a lot of falsity, there will be envy, there will be enmity created there. So these are the 5 places where Parikshit Maharaj gives the Kali to stay in. So lesson 1 we have to understand here is, those of us who desire progressive well-being should never come in contact with this religious activities. Parikshit Maharaj was so magnanimous, was so benevolent, so compassionate, so munificent to all the human race, because he was the one who confined Kali. He was the one who restricted the activities of Kali, quarantined Kali, to make him stay only in these 5 places. If Parikshit Maharaj wouldn't have made such decisions, what would happen by now? Kali would have expanded into several times would have expanded like a coronavirus. And practically he would have been in every place, in every object, right into the atom also, like Paramatma. Probably, who knows? And as a sadhu, we go to the forest and leaving all those 5 things, but still Kali will be tormenting us. Practically there will be no possibility for spiritual progress. So, basically, the whole humanity should thank Parikshit Maharaj because he tactfully he restrained the activities of Kali only in these 5 places. And when we go to the market, we know where these 5 places are. Gold shop, meat shop, that shop, this shop, and we can be careful. So, Krishna Jai Bhaje Se Bada Chatur is saying that one who worships Krishna is very, very intelligent, Prabhupada says. So then Parikshit Maharaj, and what happened? Parikshit Maharaj ensured that Kali doesn't show up in his kingdom. That's how he engaged all of his wealth in the service of devotional, in Krishna's service, devotional service, and that's how he improved the situation of Dharma. So till now we had heard that. So in this verse it says, someone was recently asking me that why Parikshit Maharaj spared Kali and did not kill Kali. And it's the same question the sages of Naimisharanya are asking in the 16th chapter. So this is the 18th chapter. The 16th chapter they are asking. See the nature of this, the quality of this sages of Naimisharanya. So the sages of Naimisharanya who had assembled there, the head of them was Shaunaka Muni. So they wanted to hear all the activities, all the glorious name, form, pastimes, guna, rupa, leela of Krishna. They were so much had intense desire and great taste to hear only about related to Krishna. And right in the beginning from the first canto, it's very evident that they are saying that Kalim Sattva Haram, or Kalim Agatam Agnaya. They are saying Kali has already begun. Then further, Kalim Sattva Haram Pumsam. So they are saying that Kali is one who deteriorates all the good qualities. Then they are requesting Suta Goswami that Vayam tu na vitrapyama uttama shloka vikrame yachnvata vasagnanam swado swado pade pade. Please tell that wonderful knowledge, that wonderful information, that just by hearing that we become so satisfied. Because they know that people in this, see, they're so selfless. Even if you take this Parikshit Maharaj, he's so selfless. Anyway, he's going to die next 7 days. Why you have to worry? Just kill this Kali, finish. He is not going to live here forever. We generally do this. Something which is enemies, finish, so that we can be happy. But here, he is showing this. We see in movies, right? The people kill that. Until they kill enemies. But here you can see that how he's seeing the benefit, what benefit Kali Yuga people will be getting. And so selfless. Similarly, the sages of Naimisharanya they want is what? Please tell that knowledge where the people be satisfied. Because they're always what? Yasyam Vaishriyamanayam Krishna Parama Purushe Bhaktirudbhatide Pumsam Shoka Moha Vayapaha. Because people in this material world are tormented and tortured by always disturbances, always lamenting, and always fear, and always in illusion. So that literature, this Bhagavatam, simply by hearing the literature, the bhakti will automatically arise in our hearts, so that the fear, shoka, moha, bhaya, pahaha, it will completely be eradicated. So that is the nature of this transcendentalist, and they are not envious. So Parikshit Maharaj wants the people of Kali Yuga to be benefited. That's why he saw this wonderful quality of Kali here, and he took the essence of this Kali Yuga. So, the best, Prabhupada says, the best welfare activity is for humankind is to distribute this holy name to one and all, to distribute the message of Krishna to one and all. And that's how, and just like we come over here, and you are not being given anything special facility here. You all come here, want to hear Srimad Bhagavatam for simple Kichdi Prasadam, but you all come, want to hear. What is drawing you here? What is drawing you here? Not a dance, not a music, not something else. And over a period of and hearing the message of Vairagya, who wants? And you've seen YouTube a lot of the lectures on bhakti, lot of lectures on gnana and all those things, but hardly you can find lectures on Vairagya. And Bhagavatam is Vairagyakya Samyutam. It is full of Vairagya. And on early Sunday morning, we all come to listen about Vairagya. So this here, the first verse, in the first this verse is Adveshta Kalim Samrat. That's what Krishna says also in Bhagavad Gita. This words come to my mind. In the 12th chapter. Verse number 12 to 20, almost 9 verses. Krishna explains about 35 qualities that is very dear to him. Bhakti me si priyo naraha. What is that? Repeat after me. Adveshta Sarvabhutanam Maitraha Karuna evacha Nirmamo Nirahankara Samadukka, Sukakshami, and it goes on like Santosa Sadam Yogi, it goes on like that. Bhakti me so priyo naraha. I say Krishna is saying some 35 wonderful qualities. So the foremost of all those qualities, the pinnacle of all those qualities, the beginning of all those qualities is Adveshta, to be non-envious. That's what whole Bhagavad Gita was spoken, right? Anusuyave is not envious. So much this has been given, so prominently has been told again and again. So much stressed upon this. So, very importantly, we have to see that this the question as why Kali Purusha was spared and he was not killed. It is there in this verse. The answer is in this verse, almost after 2 chapters, because there's a sequence of events discussed in Bhagavatam. The chapter 4 discusses about the disappearance of Krishna, and chapter 15 describes about the Pandavas, how timely they retired, and chapter 16, how Maharaj Parikshit received the age of Kali. So, who would like to hear some bad qualities of someone? None of us. And he was a murderer, he was a thief, he was, all the bad qualities of the Kali Yuga was there in this Kali personified. And who would like to listen such person's glories? So here, that's what they're saying, that we would like to hear, this sage of Naimisharanya, they're saying that we would like to hear why he was spared and not killed. If it is related to Krishna's pastime, please explain. If it is not related to Krishna's pastime, yedi Krishna katashrayam. So, the answer is today, what is that? Kushalanya so siddhyanti netrani kritani yat. That's a wonderful statement. Actually, we all should memorize this. Tomorrow, if you all go to Yamaloka, we can quote this. Say that this is what the constitution of God is. This is article number so and so. We can't abrogate it. So, Kali has this wonderful quality, what simply by thinking something good, we get all the good qualities within us. There's a wonderful story in the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu time. So, there was a devotee by name Narasimhananda Brahmachari. I'm trying to recollect it. So, this Narasimhananda Brahmachari was also known as Pradyumna Brahmachari, and he was associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after taking sannyas, immediately wanted to go to Vrindavan. Actually, just imagine, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Vrindavan only once. But what happened after that, you all know. He became so mad. And finally, he concluded his pastime. And immediately after sannyas, that is almost some 25 years, if he takes sannyas, and next 25 years, all the pastime will not be relishing. So, because of that, Nityananda Prabhu, what he does? He misled him and brought him to Shantipur, so that his mother was also there, Chaitanya's mother. And somehow, because of mother's words, he resides in Jagannath Puri. And he stays for a while. After that, he comes to the South India tour. And again, he goes back to the Jagannath Puri, stays for a while, Ratha Yatra pastime, Hera Panchami pastime, all those things happens. And after that, again, he wanted to go to Vrindavan. So this time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not depending on Nityananda Prabhu, because the first time he had misled him. So he said, I want to go alone, say things like that. And Sarva Bhattacharya arranges for Chaitanya Prabhu's going to Vrindavan. So there, one of the devotee, Narasimhananda Brahmachari, his name was Pradyumna Brahmachari, because he was speaking with Narasimha, and he was a Narasimha Upasak. Chaitanya Prabhu himself named him as Narasimhananda Brahmachari. So he was in Odisha, somewhere, and he was thinking, if Chaitanya Prabhu goes away, he would not come back. So he started meditating about how Chaitanya Prabhu would go and what would happen. I'll just read out that purport. I've just collected that purport. What exactly Prabhupada explains. So, Narasimhananda Brahmachari, he started meditating that Chaitanya Prabhu is from the Kulia Gram. So actually from Kulia Gram to Kanai Natashala. So it is almost some 80 kilometers. So from there to there, he is just mentally is preparing. What is that? How Chaitanya Prabhu goes. Narasimhananda Brahmachari decorated his, actually we should also meditate that, decorated his road with jewels and then covered the entire surface with layers of stemless flowers. On both sides of the road, he mentally placed bakula trees, and at intervals there were lakes of transcendental nature whose water tasted just like nectar and which were filled with lotus flowers. Leading down to these lakes were stairways made from jewels, and the sound of chirping birds filled the air. Cool breezes carrying the fragrance of various flowers searched out the whole atmosphere. In this way, Narasimhananda Brahmachari mentally constructed a path for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And however, after reaching Ganai Natashala, so Narasimhananda Brahmachari could not continue his meditation. And he assures, his meditation broke down. So he assures all the devotees that don't worry, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will come back again. See, this power of this thought is so important. Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, what is manmana vadbhakto, in mind, right? Manmana. First is manmana vadbhakto. The power of thought is so much, the faculty of mind Lord has given to us is so powerful that we are underestimating it. We don't know how to tame it. So I was also reading this, how Dhritarashtra, he went to the forest along with the Gandhari. Then he started meditating, and the fire came out from his body, and whole hut was burnt, and the Gandhari also went in, and the whole everything was finished. That's not here. And I was always scientific brain, no? We're always thinking, how there was no matchbox, no? How this happened? How no lighter, no matchbox, no gas, no petrol? So how immediately it got right? So as I was thinking, there somehow interestingly I came through this scientific process called as a spontaneous human combustion. I don't know if you can type it. Spontaneous human combustion. There's a lot of incidents which happens. Just by thinking, the acidity in your body will increase so much and it becomes like a fire, it burns off your own body, it charged to the whole body. So the power of thought is so much that, simply by thinking something good, we will be getting all the benefits of doing good. You don't have to do good. So similarly, when you go to a market, there's a beautiful flower, there are beautiful fruits and wonderful fragrant oils, things like that. Just meditate. Oh, this is for my Lord. This is beautiful for my Krishna Chandra. This is for my Narsimhadev. Oh, beautifully. Simply meditate. No, you don't have to pay. If you have money, please pay and you should get it. You should not simply meditate and say, Prabhuji, I can do only this much. But this is so wonderful that sitting in one place you can create whole Ayodhya in your heart. We don't have to fight a case for so many years and finally install tomorrow. So, very importantly, we have to see the faculty of mind is so powerful given to us. And there is also a story, I think so you might have known this. The Rupa Goswami explains in Bhaktivedanta Sindhu about in a Patishthanapura, there was a Brahmana, he was just sitting and he was meditating and he was making a sweet rice. You all have heard this. Parmanu. So he was meditating our sweet rice and before offering, so he wanted to just check whether the for sweet rice it should be a proper temperature. Hot, you can't give it, otherwise it will become paisam. Sweet rice is a little mild, it should be. It will be a little cool. And he touches that the sweet rice, immediately get burns. And when he opens his eyes, practically his hands was burnt. So similarly, when you think something bad and say that you have to, that you will not be penalized. But in the previous case, you are become penalized. Can anyone tell some story or some incidents where previous times where just by thinking they become sinful? Wonderful. And one more? So, in 2 minutes I will just explain. There's Renuka Devi and Jamadagni Muni, example, who are the parents of Parashurama. So, Renuka Devi was so chaste and so Pativrata, so loyal to her husband that every day she used to get early in the morning and finish off all of her household chores and she would be ready to serve her husband whole day. And because of her chastity, she had got a wonderful power that she could make a pot out of sand, not of a mud, of a sand, and get water from the Malaprabha river and every day and serve the husband for his daily oblations, rituals, tarpanam and all those things. So, years went by like this, but unfortunately, one day it so happened, this Renuka Devi, she saw a Gandharva, a beautiful Gandharva, frolicking with damsels of heaven. And that captivated her sight. And it just thought. And because of that, she got distracted. And because of her distraction, she lost chastity. Because of that one ill thought. And she lost her powers also. She was unable to make the pot again, a pot of sand. And she tried hard, she could not do that. And finally, after a long time, she was disappointed and went back to the ashram. And there, Jamadagni could see the events, what has happened through his yogic power. He could see through the mind of his wife, Renuka Devi. And immediately he becomes so furious and he calls all his 3 sons and orders the 3 sons to kill their mother. And 3 sons never agreed to that. They denied it. And then he becomes furthermore furious and he curses the 3 sons, saying that you all be burnt to death. So after that, Jamadagni Muni calls Parashuram, and Parashuram immediately comes, and on the order of his father, he chops the head of mother. And seeing this, Jamadagni was so flabbergasted, so shocked that this much loyalty, this much faithful, this much devoted. Okay, I will give you a boon. Tell me what you want. And he says that, okay, my mother and my brothers have been dead, so bring them back to life. And they were brought back to life. And this is a short story. And one more is the Brahma thinking ill about his own daughter, Saraswati, and because of that he wanted to give up his body. And one more all these things are enacted in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes also, to make us understand. When Sachimata offends Advaita Acharya in her mind, because Sachimata had she lost her 9 daughters. Just after birth they used to die. And the 8 daughters. And the 9th one was Vishwarupa. So, and the 10th one was, he was the Vishwambara. 10th son was Vishwambara, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Vishwarupa, when he was in childhood, used to always go to Advaita Acharya's house and to always listen philosophy classes and like this, like how you are listening. So over a period of number of years, so he developed some renunciation and left home and became a renunciant, take sannyas. And this was a great concern for the mother, Sachi Devi. And again, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was growing, and he also used to go to Advaita Acharya to listen to some philosophy and classes. And this was a great concern. My first son left home and became sannyasi. This fellow also will leave home and go become sannyasi. So she had committed offense against Advaita Acharya. And because of this, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed his Mahaprakasha Leela in Srivas Thakur's house, my mother Sachi Devi was not given permission to see that. And when it was asked, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, because he knows heart of everyone, and he says, because my mother offended Advaita Acharya, she is an offender. Then Sachimata goes and begs forgiveness from Advaita Acharya, takes the foot dust on her head, and that's how things was cleared. So, but none of such things we can see in our lives, that because if you just think what are the bad qualities or better thoughts would come in your life, it's innumerable, ocean, fathomless. So if Lord has to create the hell for all of our thoughts, probably he has to create 1/4 of this material world again. So even though Parikshit Maharaj had all the facilities here, still Parikshit Maharaj was not envious about Kali Purusha, because he was seeing the essence of this Kali Yuga is that just by taking the holy name of the Lord, we get all the pieties in our lives. So in whichever circumstances, he was always kind and non-envious. And we are running short of time, but I would take your 10 more minutes, if you don't mind. So Parikshit Maharaj was Nanudveshti, as I was explaining. So spiritually speaking, he was called as Vishnunatha. Right in his womb of his mother, he saw Lord Vishnu, and he was trained by Pandavas. And the materially speaking, he was emperor of the world. He could do any homa and puja and like that, just like his son Janmejaya did Sarpa Yaga. When all Sarpas came and gave up their life in the Yaga. So he had all the powers to curse back to Shringi, but still he did not do that. So he took as an opportunity to grow. So just like so he followed his predecessors. You can see that Pandu, when he made a grave mistake of killing the sage who were in the form of a deer, so he had to set a precedence that how the things should be expected from a king. So he had to show by his exemplary action. So Pandu, even though he had made this grave offense of killing a sage, and no one knew that, it only happened in the forest. Only he knew, and things happened, he was cursed. But he took this as a mistake, accepted this mistake, and he walked out of his kingdom. That's how later Dhritarashtra was made as in charge king. And he had to undergo all the purification along with the Kunti and Madri, they go. So similarly, the same thing reflected in Arjuna's mindset also. There's one instance when it comes when he breaks the privacy of Yudhishthira and Draupadi. And because of a higher cause, obviously, but still he accepts that as a mistake. And so to follow the code of conduct, so he leaves the home, and for 12 years, he learns all the great qualities of archery and things like that. So we have to understand the negativity. Actually, negativity is not negativity, but negativity is a hidden chance for an opportunity. So anything which happens in our life, we have to understand that we should have a good attitude, a proper attitude, so that we can see any negative situation in positive frame of mind and see the opportunities behind it. That we are speaking about Ram Ram, everyone Ram Ram Ram. Everyone is chanting the name of Holy One of Ram. Lord Ramachandra also what? When Kaikeyi made that plan, and Dasharatha said, you have to leave home. For 25 years, he has been pampered that you are the next king, you are the next king, you are the next king. You have been pampered for 25 years. And now, just by one word, you have to leave home. And for 12 years, you should not be here. And even he took his opportunities to associate with the sadhus and the saints. He did not start arguing, talking bad about was his mother and his stepmother and father. No. He took his an opportunity. And there's so many instances, like in the Bhagavatam, the Mahabharata it comes. Even when Arjuna went to the heavenly planets, there Urushi approaches him. But Urushi then Arjuna says that for enjoyment. And Arjuna says that you are like my mother because you had association with my great-grandfather Pururava. And because of that, she gets very wild and she curses Arjuna that you become an Ananj, Chanda. So that he used that opportunity when he was in the Virata Parvata, when he was in the incognito. Agnatavas, incognito. So we should keep in mind that we should not criticize, we should not complain, we should not condemn anyone like that, because it's the nature of this material world is like that. If you become very famous, you become very prominent in society, there are always people to pull you down. And you can see how this our Prime Minister has been pulled down in every aspect. Not that I am favoring or things like that. We can see right in front of our eyes. There are so many YouTube videos which speaks about bad about people who speak bad about Prabhupada, simply sitting there doing nothing, simply talk about bad about Prabhupada. So we should not simply start doing this blaming game. You do something wrong in our life and say, oh, Prabhuji, we are in Kali Yuga, they tend to do mistakes, defect and all those things. No, why you are bringing a Kali in your life again? Accept that mistake and work upon. So, Virodhi swapi murkeshu nirikshya vasthita guna nirodham nahi kurvanti sajjanaha santa vetasaha. So, good men, minds are always they find some good qualities even in offenders. Sajjanaha santa vetasaha. So Parikshit Maharaj has never envious, was never jealousy and bitterness of Parikshit Maharaj, so Kali, because he knew the essence of this Kali, and being like a honeybee is also explained like a honeybee. So Mashika manumichanti madumichanti madupaha, it is said. So very important, one more point of this sloka is that we have to choose to either be a fly or to be a bee. Because fly always hovers around the dust, around garbage. But this bee, honeybee, even though there's lot of dust, lot of garbage, it only finds the flower and finds the nectars in it and takes the nectar and makes something beneficial for the society. Rather the maki, the fly, it takes all the disease and spread in the society. So one more, that's called as a Madhu. So one more name of the Lord Krishna is a Madhu. So we all should be like the bees, honey bees, looking for that honey, that Madhu. So it's one more important point we have to learn from this verse is we all have to find qualities of Krishna in all situations, in all circumstances. To find our Madhusudana, else we'll be only looking after all the garbages. If we don't look for Madhusudana, we will only look for all Vishayis, garbages in this world. To find faults and defects of someone, things like that. So this is very important. I'll finish off next 2 minutes. So Bhaktivedanta Thakur Maharaj says, who are the Kali's agents? Please listen carefully. The agent of Kali are those who accept the disciplic succession of Chaitanya. The agents of Kali are those who accept the disciplic succession of Krishna Chaitanya, but secretly do not follow the rules and regulations laid down by the disciplic succession. but secretly do not follow the rules of regulation laid down by disciplic succession. So those are the Kali's agents. So we should be very careful. Chaitanya Bhaktivedanta Thakur is saying that if we don't follow the rules and regulations very seriously, we are also Kali's agents. Once there was 2 ants. One ant was in the bag of this. Amita Prabhu was saying this story. One ant was there in bag of salt, and other ant was there living in the bag of sugar. So the sugar-fed ant went to his neighbor to the sack of salt and met the salt-fed ant and said, "What is this you are doing here? It is so bitter, so tasteless. Come to my home. Sugar is full nectar, very beautiful, nourishing." And there's the salt-fed ant. So he thought, anyway I'm going, I don't know I'll be having food or not. So he took some particle, a grain of salt in his mouth. So went to the sack of sugar and started tasting the sugar. What is, frankly speaking, there's no difference. So then sugar-fed ant is saying that, hey, first you throw out the grain of salt which is there in your mouth, then you can taste the nectar. So similarly, we have to understand that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given this, the mountain of sugar and gone. What is that sugar? Is the holy name, Krishna Katha, association, Krishna Prasad, various activities in Krishna consciousness. That if we don't give up the salt in our mouth of eye and mind, enviousness, things like that, we'll not able to taste the nectarian activities and pastimes of Krishna. Tektva sudasthya surepsada rajya lakshmi dharmishta arya vachasa megadadharanyam. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but still he is hell-bent upon to save all of us. Dharmishta arya vachasa megadadharanyam. So we are all running so fast to enjoy this material world, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is running more faster than us. Maya Mrugam. We are trying to fast and try to catch something which is illusion. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Maya Mrugam Daita Epsita Anvadhavad. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is running more faster than us to try to catch us and give us this Krishna consciousness. There are a few verses I will just discuss here. So about a lot more things to discuss, but shortage of time. So what is the essence of this today's verse? Essence of today's verse is Sarva dharma sara sankirtana dharma vishesha janibe kaliyuge ed karma. So it is prescribed in Kali Yuga. It is Sarva dharma sara is sankirtana dharma. It is in Chaitanya Mangala. Nama vino kali kale nahi ara dharma sarva mantra sara nama e shastra marma. So it is the essence of all Vedic literature and all Vedic principles is to always chant the holy name of the Lord. And Jagadananda Pandita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associate, in Prema Vivarta, he says, Chalite basite swapne bhojane shayane kali dhamana krishnochare vakyera purane. So in order to nullify the age of Kali, effects of Kali, one should be what? Chalite, while moving, while basite, while sitting, swapne, while dreaming, while bhojane, by eating, by shayane, by sleeping, we should be always reciting the name of Krishna. That's how we can perfect our life. In Hari Bhakti Vilasa it says, Krishna Krishna Krishneti swapna jagrad vrajam tata yo jalpiti kalo nityam Krishna rupi bhaveddi saha. So always by sleeping, waking, walking, in any situations, one should be always cautious, alert to always remember the holy name of the Lord and think about Krishna so that we can be free from Kali Yuga. So it's a warning that don't think that there's a disclaimer. After the class, they put disclaimer. What is it? Oh, Prabhuji has said the bad thoughts. Okay, let bad thoughts come. Okay, mine. Okay, bad thoughts come. We should be very careful. We should not allow that to happen. The story. Then we can see the story of Ajamila, how he fell off from his grace. So there's a wonderful Chinese the proverb. Watch your thoughts. Watch your thoughts. It become your words. Watch your words. It become your actions. Watch your actions. It become your habits. Watch your habits. It become your character. So very important. Watch your character. It becomes your destiny. Further to add. So very important, you should be always watchful of what I'm thinking. Don't think that if something bad comes, you repent for that. That such bad thoughts are coming, Krishna, what to do? You speak to your mentors, speak to your devotees you are in touch with, speak to in front of the Lord. My Lord, what to do? Such thoughts are coming. I don't want this. So always more and more spiritual activities, more and more chanting, more and more devotional service, more and more trying to imbibe those wonderful qualities as explained in Bhagavatam. So we have to work on. So a lot of work is there for us. The Kali is now from 5,000 years, he is hardly so much working, so much hard worker he is. So much he is working hard. So we should also work hard to think always about Krishna and meditate upon his pastimes so that we can perfect our human form of life. Any questions anyone has? Yeah, one question. So I request the devotees who are there at the corner, can you please help? Who can distribute the prasadam coupons. So those who wants to go early, they can give. So please go and tell them. Those who wants to go, please collect the coupons. I can move. Yes.
So who are the agents of Kali?
Sorry.
Who are the agents of Kali?
We ourselves are agents of Kali. If we are not properly following the rules and regulations set up by our Guru. We are ourselves are agents of Kali if we don't follow the rules and regulations of what Prabhupada has given to us. Got my point?
No, I think it means that in Kali Yuga, this is a Kali Yuga, so after some years someone came and destroy this Kali Yuga. So I thought, so who give that, they will send agents here.
No. So again you should take the essence here. So Bhaktivedanta Thakur Maharaj is saying who is the agents of Kali? Being a devotee. That's what Bhaktivedanta Thakur is explaining. It's not like agents of Yamaraj is Yamadutas. Not like that. So here agents of Kali is we ourselves. If we start listening to Kali, we are agents of Kali. If we start listening to Krishna, we are agents of Krishna. So thank you all so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.